Hello, my name is Bill Leitka. I'm a harpooner for Edward Leitta's crew, Son crew. Welcome to Heartbeat, Alaska. I'd like to say hello to all my friends in the state of Alaska, class of 1974.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
It's Heartbeat,
It's a fabulous show.
Alaska.
Hi, Heartbeat, Alaska.
It's Heartbeat, Alaska.
Pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeannie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heartbeat Alaska Native News and Information. I'm Jeannie Green. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello to my good friends across the 13 states that air Heartbeat Alaska. And hello to you, Australia. Heartbeat Alaska will be aired beginning with this program on Imparja TV in the country of Australia, a TV station that reaches our Native brothers and sisters down under. On today's program, we travel down under once again, but not quite so far, this time to the state of Washington, thanks to NorthWest Indian News. There's a story they sent us about a journey, a canoe journey in traditional canoes. That plus much more from Northwest United States and the Northwest Indians.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Brown's Electric Lighting Gallery. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support of Heartbeat Alaska.
Heartbeat Alaska is also sponsored by the Norton Sound Economic Development Corporation, serving the fisheries of the Bering Strait region.
Heartbeat Alaska is also brought to you by Frontier Flying Service. Thank you, Frontier, for getting Heartbeat Alaska airborne.
This program is also brought to you by ASRC Energy Services, a subsidiary of Arctic Slope Regional Corporation.
Welcome back. Northwest Indian News is produced by the Tulip Tribes in the state of Washington. Let's go to the show's host, Lyn Dennis.
Hi, I'm Lyn Dennis. Welcome to Northwest Indian News. It's news by, for, and about Indian people and issues in the Pacific Northwest. NWIN is proving to be a great opportunity for tribes and nations to share information. Today, we're on the beautiful shores of the Tulalip Reservation, where tribal members continue to live and breathe the vivid memories of Canoe Journey 2003. Months after canoes arrived on these shores, the spirit of the journey lives on. NWIN reporter Niki Cleary is a member of the Tulalip canoe family.
It's a celebration of who we are, where we've been, and where we're going. Indian people coming together to travel the highways of our ancestors. Canoe Journey 2003 brought thousands of us together. 56 canoes from 50 tribes and bands of the Northwest and British Columbia took part in the adventure of a lifetime. Coastal tribes and bands paddled hundreds of miles to meet and begin our paddle inland to Tulalip, the host of this year's journey. This was our time to be with one another, to see friends and family, and to honor our culture.
Stories of my grandmother. I used to think she was crazy. She'd say, yeah, we used to paddle all the way up there to go pick berries, and I thought she was just nuts when I was a young kid. Now I turn around, now we're doing that kind of same thing she's telling me about. So just kind of reflects on the past and, you know, using the future and using the past and doing things as we used to, and in a nowadays kind of situation. So it's kind of, for me, it's just a real spiritual uplifting.
One of the greatest honors I've ever known to be part of this journey, to learn the protocol, the respect, you know, to see the children learn how to ask for permission to enter someone else's property and territory, and be able to learn these protocols and pass them on to the future generations.
You know, that's what we want the journey to be about for everybody, is that you're going to gain control of yourself, and that you're going to learn more about the spirituality and learn more about who you are as a people. Our theme is healing through unity. That's a huge order. You know, when we're dealing with generations of non-unity, I guess, lack of unity, because we've had that oppression upon us from outside people that have come in and tried to take away our culture, tried to take away our language, you know, tried to take away our family togetherness. But you know what? We don't have to accept that anymore. To me, that's what this journey's about.
This year's theme, Healing Through Unity, had different meanings for different people. For some, the healing came from experiencing the rebirth of their culture. For others, healing came from the sheer joy of having so many people who understood what it means to be Indian.
Unity means that together, what we can do, sharing with one another, not only the teachings, the songs, kind of like that cycle of life that we used to have as a unity, united. We're strong together, and that's what I've always told our people. You know, we can stay together, and we're really strong together.
This is why we should be proud to be Indian. Everybody can feel that. That's why we're here, to feel that power of our people. The power and the spirituality and the beliefs, and being around people that feel the same way. It's just such a great uplifting to be around this many Indians, and this many Indians with good hearts and being in a good way, you know, and sharing and healing. A lot of healing going on here.
Gathering and traveling together, we were more attuned to the rhythms of the winds and tides than the clock. At each stop along the way, our canoe pullers and support teams were welcomed as honored guests.
We want you to know that we come here drunk and alcohol free. We bring a message to all our people that there's strength in our culture. That who we are as a people can keep us from those dangers, to make us stronger and better human beings.
Once ashore, we shared in the time-honored ceremonies and protocol of our ancestors.
So when something this great happens in this century, something that's so old, so very old, yet the discipline you can see as they come in. It takes discipline to be out there and to know that every one of these people are drug-free, alcohol-free, substance abuse-free. If I wasn't so public, I would cry.
This is a great healing. All these canoes, all these great people, all of our kids, we're teaching them the ways that have been passed down to us, we're passing them on to them.
Many of the unplanned events, such as rafting together and sharing food, gave spiritual meaning to the journey. The singing of canoe songs helps the pullers and skippers paddle for as long as 12 or more hours a day. Our bodies grew weary, but we paddled as one. Canoe Journey 2003 culminated at the Tulalip Indian Reservation. During a skipper's meeting on Hat Island, just a few miles from Tulalip Bay, the Tulalip canoe family asked that the canoes enter the bay, forming an S-shaped procession, reenacting the canoe ceremony that took place in this 1910 photograph.
Bring all these canoes out and around you.
So if you could give them something to turn around, they wanted us to zigzag through here.
There on the shore to greet us was a crowd of 5,000 people from throughout the Northwest and British Columbia.
It's so wonderful to see so many people on the shores of our reservation. And as it's been stated earlier, I can't recall seeing this many canoes, ocean-going canoes, coming to our shores. But I'm going to say this is the first time in at least a century where this has taken place.
The tribal grounds were covered with family tents, food and craft booths, and a huge event tent for our performances. This was the beginning of a potlatch ceremony that had not been seen in generations.
We've had a lot of different meetings with our family in order to prepare for this, in the way that we stand up in front of our visitors, the way that we acknowledge our visitors, the way that we gift them, and we gift them accordingly. And we believe that you know, being able to participate in this, we're bringing back a great significant event that is truly part of our culture.
It's a day that recognizes all of the tribes, and recognizes all of the canoes and all of the tribal chairs and their councils, and throughout British Columbia and Vancouver Island and throughout all of our region here and all of our tribes here. It's a day that makes you want to cry when you see, you know, it happening.
Many here will reunite next summer at Alert Bay in British Columbia for Canoe Journey 2004.
I really look forward to all of these canoes arriving in our territory, and I know that the spirit will be carried throughout all of our journeys.
For Northwest Indian News, this is Niki Cleary reporting.
My name is Fred Olana. I'm from Berwick Mission, Alaska. I'm a teacher's aide here in Berwick Mission, and I love to watch Heartbeat Alaska.
Flying in Alaska? Fly Frontier, the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Frontier is expanding again. They've added new routes to Nome, Kotzebue, and the surrounding villages. As you can see, Frontier is now really covering Alaska. So the next time you fly, try Frontier. Frontier offers quick, convenient check-in, low fares, and service direct to many of the villages. Frontier Flying Service is the official airline of Heartbeat Alaska. Make it your official airline too.
I hate you.
Why didn't you just leave me alone?
I can't believe you went to my room! It's my room!
I hate you!
You're grounding me!
You can't ground me!
It's just a little pot!
It's just a little pot!
Afraid of a few slammed doors? Get over it.
Ready to do this?
Yeah. Because to help your kid with their problem, first you have to get over yours.
For generations, the Chupik Eskimos of Nunivak Island have maintained the finest herd of reindeer anywhere in the world. The flavor and nutrition of these magnificent free-range deer is unmatched and is now available in commercial USDA-inspected lots. This is the only official outlet for authentic Nunivak reindeer meat. For more information or to place an order, contact Nunavut Reindeer and Seafood Products, Box 42, Makoriak, Alaska 99630, or call 907-827-8015. Supplies are limited.
There's a word that's very important to the Tulalip tribe, and it's also important to Alaska Natives.
Ask any Native American what the most important issue is in Indian country, and they will likely tell you sovereignty. But almost everyone has a different interpretation. NWIN asked tribal leaders their thoughts.
Sovereignty to me is self-governance. It's enjoying the blessings of self-governance by practicing our culture and traditions and making sure that our people understand who they are and where they come from.
It's not a gift to us. It's an inherent right that the tribes have, and it's a right for us to grow and teach our children our ways, our way of life, at the way we want to.
Sovereignty means the ability to control your destiny
as well as to provide for the people that reside, especially here, that reside within Yakama Nation, to provide the means to support themselves, to provide the means to develop their own economic infrastructure, the means to develop their own economy, and to provide for the welfare of its own tribal members, and the ability to formulate their own laws.
The protection of our Indian civil rights is very important as people, and it's in our Constitution, and it's also inside of our law and order codes, and under the color of law. There's a lot of things in there that we need to protect for our people. Our sovereignty means that we are an individual government.
Sovereignty is the fundamental legal foundation of tribes that have been articulated in treaties between the tribes and the United States government that clarifies the rights of the tribes to manage its affairs for its people today and into the future.
Tribal sovereignty is an inherent power that's unique from tribe to tribe. The Makah tribe, for example, has our own language, our own history, our own traditions, our own land base, and our own treaty. And I think the most important thing is to protect all of them as a tribe.
Tribal sovereignty to the Yakama Nation means the inherent right to make decisions on behalf of our nation, to have the exclusive authority to do that. And part of those decisions right now is the enterprises that we have on our reservation to increase and enhance the capabilities of our people, not only economically, but as well socially.
Sovereignty of all of our nations is that we have to be a part of something that our elders have left behind, our forefathers have left behind for us. The forests, your own home, the rivers, all of the resources that are part of, everything that was given to us from our Creator.
On the Yakama Reservation, there is a company that is gaining worldwide recognition. Yakama Forest Products lumber is known as some of the highest quality on the market. It's shipped to over 40 states as well as Japan and other countries. From Yakama, here's Ronnie Washine.
Of the 1.4 million acres that make up the Yakama Reservation, about 613,000, or just less than 1/2 of those acres, are forested. Today, the Yakama Nation harvests roughly 144 million feet of raw logs and produces about 110 million board feet of finished lumber each year, which makes timber the #1 source of income for the tribe since the 1940s.
There was much discussion in the early 90s about the need for Yakama Nation to construct its own sawmill, complex of sawmills, if you will. And the Yakama Forest Products was authorized by General Council in 1994. It still means that a lot of tribal members are able to work within their own industry generated from the forests of timberlands that Yakama Nation owns.
The Yakama Nation is not just interested in cutting timber. The forests are held sacred. Numerous plants, birds, animal life, and culturally sensitive areas make up the forest, and tribal members continually respect that ecosystem.
The Yakama Nation does consider our forest sacred. The land, the water, and all the animals, and everything that walks upon the land and drinks the water is sacred to the Yakama Nation. So we manage our forest and do forest plans taking that into consideration. And if there is going to be a compromise in the planning process, we always compromise to the cultural side of our forest activity.
The Yakama Nation has set aside a 36,000 acre primitive area as well as a number of alpine ridges and watershed zones where timber is not harvested at all. In fact, only a very small percentage of the estimated 10 billion board feet of timber is actually harvested each year. The Yakama Nation rarely clear cuts the timber.
We're always looking towards the future. We want to make sure that there's trees here for our future generations. So we're trying to practice a sustained yield timber harvest. We're trying to, take out the dead, the diseased trees every entry we go in, and making sure there's always something there for future generations to enjoy, and hopefully come out in the harvest and put through their sawmill as well.
If the rings of a tree tell a story, then Yakama Nation timber would echo one of sincere reverence for all natural resources, including its tribal members. Today, over 300 tribal members living on the Yakama Nation are currently employed in the timber industry. The word sustainable resource today includes the tribe's workforce. For Northwest Indian News, I'm Ronnie Washine reporting.
And finally, we'd like to wrap up this edition of NWIN with a story of a little creek on the Olympic Peninsula that is making a big difference for one endangered species. From Jamestown Skallam, Niki Cleary reports.
Channeled into a ditch in the early 1900s to make way for farmland, the Jimmy-Come-Lately Creek has not proven to be a productive salmon spawning habitat. Once boasting 4 strong runs of seagoing fish, including winter steelhead, the creek needed help in order to return to its former glory.
I think it's exciting. What we're doing for the community is something that I think is very special. We're correcting the errors that man has made, thinking that we were smarter than nature. And so the fish will benefit from it, the bird life will benefit from it, the wildlife will benefit from it, and we think that we're going to create an estuary that is going to be a model.
While making plans to expand the Seven Cedars Casino, the Jamestown Skallam tribe found that with improvements, the nearby creek could help bring back summer chum, a threatened salmon on the endangered species list. The tribe decided it was time not only to help the salmon, but to restore the entire Jimmy-Come-Lately Creek ecosystem.
For a creek this size, this is a very ambitious project. Behind us, we've dug not only the creek channel, we've also dug out a floodplain. It's a new way to do stream restoration, and so the channel can move around. The channel is designed to move around, and a lot of stream restoration projects, they design them so that they stay in place, and if they move, then the project has failed. But in this one, we don't really care if it moves around.
The Jimmy-Come-Lately Creek Ecosystem Restoration Project is being called an undevelopment because the Jamestown Skallam tribe is removing man-made obstacles, allowing nature to heal itself. In addition to undeveloping the upper creek, the tribe is removing dozens of pilings along the waterfront of Sequim Bay. The tribe is also excavating tons of fill material near the mouth of the creek where a sawmill once stood.
Now when you go there, what you see is a creek that's not going straight down the valley. Now what you see is a meandering creek that has lots of log jams and estuary sites at which that the fish can migrate up the creek in order to spawn, and you see a wildlife starting to re-emerge. And so basically you see an estuary returning back to what it would look like 100 years ago.
Only time will tell if this new undevelopment style of ecosystem restoration will be a model for future habitat restoration projects. So far, it appears at least a few residents of the Jimmy-Come-Lately Creek are enjoying coming home. For Northwest Indian News, I'm Niki Cleary, reporting.
That's it for this edition of Northwest Indian News. If you have story ideas or would like to learn more about NWIN, we'd like to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I'm Lyn Dennis.
Hi, Quiana for flying Bering Air. Bering Air flies throughout Northwest Alaska and has hubs in Nome and Kotzebue. Bering Air flies both helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, such as our Cessna Caravans, Piper Navajos, Beach King Airs, and our large cargo aircraft, the Casa. Bering Air offers daily scheduled flights and charters throughout Alaska and the Soviet Far East. Bering Air also provides emergency medical flights for Northwest Alaska. For safe and reliable service, fly with Bering Air.
In the 1890s, pioneers carved a railway through the rugged mountains between Skagway and the Klondike. More than a century later, the White Pass and Yukon route still makes this legendary run. Along the way, life has gotten better for folks working on the railroad, thanks in part to Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska, a health plan that's offered smart choices and quality coverage to the people of Alaska since before it was a state. Primera Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alaska. We're here. We're with you.
Good morning, Island Air.
Island Air has been serving Kodiak Island for over 20 years, with scheduled service and charter service to 6 different destinations around Kodiak Island, the mainland, peninsula, and up and down the Aleutian chain. Island Air offers quality service at affordable rates. And if you love to fish, Island Air would love to take you there. They offer same-day fly-in fishing and bear viewing trips. So when you find yourself on Kodiak Island, be sure to visit Island Air for your island travels.
Welcome to the Aurora Inn, Nome's newest and finest hotel. The Aurora Inn offers you clean, modern, quiet, and secure rooms. There are a variety of room types to choose from. Whether you're traveling alone, on business, or taking a trip with your family, you will always find a room to suit your needs. Also located at the Aurora Inn is Nome's only quality vehicle rental service, Stampede Ventures. Whether you're here on business, or for sightseeing, bird watching, or just exploring the local area, we have a vehicle and a room for you. The Aurora Inn in Nome.
Thank you, Northwest Indian News, for contributing these stories to Heartbeat Alaska. By the way, Northwest Indian News is produced 4 times a year, and we love seeing every single one of their programs. For Heartbeat Alaska, I'm Jeannie Green. God bless you, and we'll see you again next week.